Do you consider yourself a seeker? If so, why did you become a seeker in the first place? Was it a conscious decision? Did you wake up one morning and decide that committing yourself to decades of striving to find some hazy, ill defined resolution of an unnameable itch seemed like the best way to spend a lifetime? Or is it something that happened gradually, day by day, perhaps driven by innocent curiosity until you realized you were on a quest for something? And what is that something that you are in search of? Enlightenment? Liberation? Awakening? Freedom? Have you ever considered how you define those words? If not, take a moment now to investigate your image of your personal holy grail. What does ultimate completion of the search look like for you? You've been seeking for years, but what would it be like to find what you're after? At the root of it, would you say that you're on a quest for truth with a capital T? That true something which is absolutely undeniable and that transcends all human concepts and religions? That thing that surpasses tribalism and dogma? That thing which will endow your life with meaning and a clear sense of purpose, and which will finally provide the feeling of fulfillment you so desperately crave? If so, it might be worth it for you to explore what is hidden underneath that drive for truth. Right now, get comfortable. Close your eyes. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I just want you to feel whatever comes up. Settle the awareness in the body while also noticing any thoughts that arise. Why do you need to know this truth? What will happen if you never know it? Can you bear a life of uncertainty and ignorance? Can you bear this persistent unease of ambiguity? Now continue to feel into the body as you either think or say the next sentence out loud. I will never know if anything is true. Again, I will never know if anything is true. What is happening in your body in response to these words? Is it pleasant or unpleasant? Maybe an expansion or a contraction? Is there a feeling of turbulence, like unease, perhaps even something close to anxiety? Next, try the sentence, I can never know if I'm right or wrong. Again, feel into the body. How does this sentence seem to be expressed by the internal state of the muscles and organs? I can never know if I'm right or wrong. Lastly, try no one is sure about anything. Again, no one is sure about anything. Your experience might be different, but for many of us, this striving for truth is a reaction to deep feelings of unease about not knowing, about being ignorant, about being wrong when others are right. Keep feeling into the body to see if any of those possibilities spark sensation anywhere. Can you simply sit in this discomfort? Is it okay to be with the feelings we call anxiety or uncertainty when they are fresh and alive? This may sound like a strange question, but are those physical sensations causing you to do anything? Are they forcing you to watch another YouTube video? Are they making you sign up for another retreat? Are they ordering book after book, looking for that one sentence, that one single turning word that will reveal the unshakable ultimate truth? Where is the connection between sensation and action? Investigate in direct experience. Can you find the connection? If you can't find a link, then could it be that instead there are simply sensations and simply thoughts about needing to read another book, or sensations and unrelated thoughts about joining another Zoom meeting? Could they be independently appearing phenomena? Incidentally, I'm not vilifying any of these behaviors. There's nothing wrong with any of this per se. I'm only asking you to explore your motivations and, if it's relevant, to explore your body for the type of discomfort that seems to accompany thoughts about needing to find an unquestionable answer. Then sit with that discomfort and see if you really need to do something to avoid feeling it. Is it truly that unbearable? Next, let's investigate what it is you think would be different about your life if you found this ultimate truth. Will you still get sick? Will you still have to work to earn money to eat and provide for your family? Will you still lose loved ones to relocation or death? Will you yourself never die? Really sit with that last one. Isn't that what's at the root of it all? A fear of your own mortality? Don't people who know the truth cease to die? Don't they live on in everlasting bliss? That's what we keep hearing. If you are one with everything, and if everything persists infinitely, then you must persist too. It's only logical. Similarly, if you are energy, and energy cannot be destroyed but only transformed, then you are eternally safe, identifying as a cloud, then as a leaf, then as a worm, then as a bird. Science says so, right? Or maybe it's true that you were never born, in which case you will never die. Whatever this is will always remain just as it is. And if the truth is that what this is nothing but consciousness or awareness, then it's the best of all possible options. It's eternal, omnipresent, omniscient, and impersonal enough that there's no one who could possibly die, though you somehow still get to feel like your same old self. Perfect, isn't it? And all you need to do is to be given a single life changing experience of insight, and finally, you are off the hook. Philosophizing isn't enough. You need to see it for yourself, and then. But what if you're wrong about all of it? What if everything you've ever believed is a lie? What if you can never, ever, ever know anything for sure, right up to the moment when you're lying on your deathbed, completely uncertain about what, if anything, is going to follow your final breath in the coming minutes? What are you feeling in your body right now, considering these possibilities? Can you allow whatever is there to remain just as it presents? Whatever it feels like in the body, does this feeling come with a label attached, naming it as something specific? Anxiety, existential fear, panic, restlessness? Again, looking into direct experience, how will taking on another belief quell these uncomfortable sensations? How are beliefs and these sensations in any way related? Beliefs are just thoughts. Beliefs can never be verified, otherwise, they wouldn't need to be believed. So, what good is taking on one more of these burdens? Right now, where does the belief attach to those sensations? Is there a thread, a stick, a special ligament that connects the chest muscles to figments of the imagination? Where is the connection? Do you feel like finally realizing the truth will be an unquestionable peak experience? And that when you feel it, you'll just know it's true with every fiber of your being? This might be an uncomfortable thing to think about, but have you ever felt something to be completely true, only to later discover that you were entirely mistaken? It might be something as small as today's date or the day of the week, or something as big as a debunked conspiracy theory or a psychotic break that felt undeniably real to you, even though your beliefs sounded completely unhinged and impossible to those who didn't share in your delusions. Can you recall that peculiar sensation of the rug being pulled out from under you when you discovered that a long held belief or assumption was actually incorrect? The term Mandela effect was coined because so many people seem to remember events and details from pop culture that are verifiably wrong, yet they feel undeniably true to those who remember them. Recognize the belief inherent in the idea that the experience of seeing the truth will be unquestionably decisive. Do you have any proof that that will be the case? Or is it too just another thought? Now, investigate the belief that just feeling something to be true means that it really is. On what are you basing that belief? If you find yourself saying things like, but the sutras say, or I've heard teachers say, or it just feels right to me that I'll know it when I see it, recognize that all of these are thoughts based on absolutely nothing. They're like writing on fog. Every thought that arises to object is itself another thought based on more nothing. Mist stacked on mist, stacked on mist. Where can you stand? Do you feel like you're approaching a ledge that you can't back away from? Is there anything here to grasp onto? Is there anything that can be known to be absolute truth? And even if there was, how could you trust yourself to recognize it? Again, feel into the discomfort in the body and recognize that the words fear, anxiety, unease are only labels. They are thoughts filled with connotations and biases. What is actually appearing in experience right now? Sensations. Sensations in what we take to be the body. Visual and oral sensations in what we call the mind. But all of them are simply sensations, completely devoid of any value, of any meaning, of any great truth or indication of truth. They are simply sensations. Again, investigate how an understanding of something called truth could in any way be associated with these sensations. How do the two unrelated things connect? And again, notice in this moment, without adding thoughts about them, are these sensations so unbearable that they need to be driven away or pushed to the furthest recesses of consciousness? In fact, notice how quickly these sensations pass without our constantly injecting them with meaning or judging and resisting feeling them for even a few seconds at a time. Whether those sensations are here now or not, is there anything that needs to be changed about this moment? Anything that could be improved upon by being in the know about some cosmic plan? Isn't what's here quite perfect as it currently is? Perfection in this context is not a value judgment. Everything is perfect for the sole reason that everything is here as it is, perfectly complete and whole. It's just what is, and right now, that's all that can be here. The only way we can see something otherwise is to turn to imagination thoughts to create an alternative option that we then think might be better than what's here now. But does that alternative option exist? Of course not. It's nothing but pure thought. And that thought inspires more dissatisfied thoughts, complaining that what's here isn't perfect enough. The mind knows how things really should be. And these thoughts are all diverting away from being in the only moment that actually exists, right here, right now. These are merely thoughts looking to rearrange existence so that it'll be more comfortable. And by comfortable, I mean predictable, safer. So what if the next moment is uncertain? Can you ever find a next moment? Where was the moment that just existed? Where is the one that you anticipate to be coming next? Does time seem to move, or are you always apparently in the now? Well, then, is timelessness truth? So, what if it is? And so, what if it's an illusion of human perception? Why do you need to know? Can you simply be in the experience of whatever is arising, remaining with all that shows up without struggling against any of it? And when you recognize that struggle, there's no need to forcibly do anything about it. Simply notice it and watch if and how it changes. Then become aware throughout your day when the urge to seek, to search, or to know arises. Then tune back into the body to see if any uncomfortable sensations can be found. If so, are they assumed to be related to this conceptual feeling of uncertainty? Ignore any labels that show up and just allow whatever arises to be. Explore in direct experience to see if there is any discernible connection between sensations and the apparent need to know the truth. After you have sat with the sensations and observed their coming and going, ask yourself these questions. What is left when there is no seeking or striving in this moment? Again, what is left when there is no seeking or striving in this moment? And what is left when there is no struggle to change what is here into something that isn't? Again, what is left when there is no struggle to change what is here into something that isn't? Then tune into the body and allow whatever arises to be fully experienced. Remain particularly aware of any thoughts that show up, especially thoughts in the forms of judgments, internal resistance, or any ideas of the way that things should be and how much better they would be if only they were a little bit different than they really are. Ask yourself, can I be content with this right now? Do you have any other choice? Happy inquiring.